It's time to talk about the F word. Well, the other F word.
I never did not identify as a feminist, but there was a point in time where I felt like I did not know where I belonged in feminism.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity feminists. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at people who've been vocal about their support of feminism and who are well known for the work they've done to promote equal rights. Number 10. Uzo Aduba.
Of course I'm a feminist.
This Orange is the New Black star has no qualms about being open about her activism.
Why? Because you light a fire inside me.
In a time where the arts are constantly under threat, racism continues to be a major issue, and women still make less money than men. So Aduba uses her celebrity to make her voice heard. Whether it's talking about the microaggressions that once prompted her to want to change her name to Zoe, or the way that the arts are constantly being defunded by the government, Aduba should be an inspiration to us all. Like her, we can't believe anyone would be reluctant to call themselves a feminist. Number 9. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What she would always say is, so, this is what women can do. See what men can do. They're these great, skilled, talented athletes, and the women get to do this.
Hollywood is rife with inequality, and this guy makes it seem all the more ridiculous. With a long history of pointing out the differences in the way men and women are treated, Gordon-Levitt just doesn't understand why people can't be allowed and encouraged to do the things they love. Recognizing the long history of female oppression, he argues that equal rights are for everyone. But the main reason we love him? When other stars like Taylor Swift and Shailene Woodley were refusing to label themselves as feminists, Gordon-Levitt has given everybody a breakdown of what the word really means and made it obvious that everyone should be a feminist.
And in the interest of furthering this conversation, I want to ask you guys what you think about this. What does that word, feminism, mean to you?
Number 8. Geena Davis.
Movie after movie comes out that we want to say, well, now things have changed. But it doesn't, is because the powers that be are still saying, yeah, but I don't know, that might have just been a one-off.
Few celebrities have done as much for feminism as Geena Davis. While some complain about the gender pay gap or representation of women in media, Davis has actually used her influence to do something about it. By funding a massive study on gender in children's entertainment and starting an entire film festival dedicated to addressing diversity under her belt, Davis is someone to be admired. Alongside her acting career and the work she does pushing for more female representation in media for both kids and adults, she also encourages more girls to get into sport, another area in which women and girls are severely underrepresented. Number 7. Ashley Judd.
Online misogyny is a global gender rights tragedy, and it is imperative that it ends.
On January 21st, 2017, one of the largest single-day protests in the history of the United States, the Women's March, took place on U.S. soil and around the world to protest the inauguration of President Donald Trump. It was on this day that Ashley Judd took to the stage and wowed audiences with her performance of the poem, I Am a Nasty Woman.
I am a nasty woman.
Judd was also one of the first people to speak up against Harvey Weinstein and his sexual misconduct, thus paving the way for other women to speak about their experiences.
But it's been an absolutely tremendously moving 2.5 or 3 weeks.
That makes her a hero in our eyes. Number 6. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. These two have been using comedy as a platform for feminism for as long as we can remember. With 3 epic years hosting the Golden Globes award ceremony, they brought feminism to the front of everyone's minds as they jibed about the standards to which women are held and how different they are from what we expect of men.
Boyhood proves that there are still great roles for women over 40 as long as you get hired when you're under 40.
As if this wasn't badass enough, both of these women have made careers for themselves writing comedies in which the women they play are unashamed and unabashed about their womanhood, and the realities that come along with that.
You're ridiculous, and men's rights is nothing.
Number 5. Rose McGowan. If you've been following on social media, you know that Rose McGowan has a hell of a lot to say about the injustices women face every day in the film industry. Her outspoken attitude even caused her to be temporarily banned from Twitter. McGowan has no hesitation when it comes to unleashing her fury about the way women are treated in Hollywood and around the world. Using the internet to express her thoughts and experiences, she's become the center of the rapidly unfolding Harvey Weinstein case, which only serves to highlight the harassment that women face every single day from the men who hold power over them. Number 4. Shonda Rhimes. If you've ever sat down to watch TV, chances are you've caught an episode of something Shonda Rhimes has written. Being behind some of the biggest shows to have ever aired on television, Rhimes has carved out her own opportunity, and she uses it to the greatest extent she can. Every show she writes has feminist undertones, and Rhimes uses her experiences as a person of color to write Black characters who are three-dimensional and multifaceted. Love them or hate them, there's no denying that the shows that Rhimes helms will go down in history as some of the most diverse in their representation.
That's not what I think a mother is, and I don't think that that's what I want my daughters to see a mother be.
Number 3. Beyoncé. Who run the world? We sure as heck think it should be Queen Bee. She has a long history of standing up for the rights of women, and her music career has reflected her quest for female empowerment. Whether it's singing about being a survivor or standing up on stage at the 2014 VMAs in front of a sign that read Feminist, she's established that she is one of the people at the forefront of the fight for equal rights. Considering how many people look up to her, we have a deep respect for how she's used her influence. Number 2. Reese Witherspoon.
We need to just not only maintain the status quo, but I think we need to push forward and really continue the good fight for equality.
This legally blonde A-lister is just as diligent and smart as Elle Woods, the role that made her a household name.
And if in fact you weren't washing your hair, as I suspect you weren't because your curls are still intact, wouldn't you have heard the gunshot?
Witherspoon has always been a champion for women's rights and equality, and her commitment to the cause is reflected in her film roles, starring as strong women in movies like Wild and TV series like Big Little Lies.
If I catch you driving and texting again, I will find your mother and I will throw this at her.
Outside of her acting, in 2018, Reese Witherspoon was one of the many women who launched the Time's Up movement in an effort to fight harassment and abuse, and promote safety and equality in the workplace. She is changing Hollywood for the better.
What, like it's hard?
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I know that I've always kind of carried a habit of submissiveness with the idea of that makes me more likable.
Number 1. Emma Watson.
Feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities.
We watched Emma Watson grow up on our screens.
Hey, she's only interested in you because she thinks you're the chosen one.
Now she's a UN ambassador and frequently speaks out about the inequality women face. Even more, she points out that feminism is for men too, as the movement is about equality for all. And men often face abuse that isn't taken as seriously if perpetrated by female partners. For Watson, being a feminist is uncomplicated, and she makes a point of supplementing her acting career with human rights activism. But the thing that really gets us? We know that Watson grew into someone that Hermione Granger would be proud of.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.